It's a nice act. Can you stand up? Tell me your name.
My name is Milo Alexander. I'd like to thank you for inviting us here and the things that you've done over the past few years. And I really want to thank you for getting the billion man Dan Penny involved, because he's 101% right. I grew up, in a sort of like hard by a high performance woman, that was born in the 1928. And we were sort of like raised up to be tough, really, really tough. And the individuals that I'm doing business with now, I see that a lot of them are heartbroken, and a lot of them are coming from a place of, how can I put it, suffering from a high level of abandonment. So you in your position now, with the influence that you have and the following that you have to bring, or are you thinking of bringing a solution? Because sometimes from what I see, it's constantly trying to find another high. But as Mr. Dan Penny says, at some point, individuals have to pull the trigger and realize that, listen, you've done this, you've done the Iron Man, you've done all of these things, but at some point, it has to come to enough is enough. Instead of trying to chase the next high or try to, defeat a mountain, you are the mountain. So at some point, are you and your individuals with you, are you trying to use things like Cambo with your guy, Dave and the rest of them, to sort of like bring some of these individuals that are following you, trying to get to the next level? Are you thinking in the future of applying these sort of things and helping these guys really find the answer and lay away to the past regressive depression or heartbreak that they felt in those first formative years?
Yeah, I feel like that's what we're doing here. I feel like, Daniel works with the plant medicine, in a big way down at Soltara, and he does amazing work. And I've drank strong medicine with this gentleman down there, and to see a reaction like his to something like this, I feel like we are putting the mirror back on people and making them ask those questions. And I don't know if you were asking me if things like Campbell are the future. Is that?
In the future, would you, because you have a great following now,
yeah.
You are looking to a certain group of demographic are looking to you.
Right.
So are you thinking in the future using your influence to sort of bring these guys, to be laser focused, high performers?
Look, I'm a huge fan of Mr. Dan Pena. He's my mentor, but he is one of a kind, to say the least. And when it comes to pushing people to be high performers, he's got the corner on that market, and I'm going to leave it to him. But I believe in everything he says. I think he just gives his message in a really different way. But I see a ton of Pena in here. Maybe he doesn't. But when I see lines that are straight out of his mouth, maybe said in John Joseph's words. So I see that. Our next film is called Dissolution, and I did go down into the plant medicines, and they're very controversial, and Dan's got his opinions about those, and it's not just going to be about the plant medicine. I want to investigate a few other things that are happening in the world, but I just see that as a way of again, looking at yourself. But again, I'm a big fan of pulling the trigger concept. Fear is false expectations appearing real. I was in fear of telling this secret of mine, which was bullshit. I needed to pull the trigger on that. And as Dan has taught me, you realize that 95% of that is a phantom that makes you play small. And when you get there, it's not that bad. Now everyone knows. Does it change anything about me? No, actually, I have more people that I can talk to. It doesn't change my business. It doesn't change anything. So. Yeah, I feel like we're on that wavelength. I want to keep pushing it. I want to keep doing that. And luckily, I got people like you and Dan that are going to be rarely impressed with what I do and push me to the next level. And I appreciate that. I do. I really do. And it's a good question. And I know we have a big responsibility out there. And luckily, I have a few people that tell me that on a regular basis. So.